Running a Pokemon card store is hard, and there will be a ton of stores that silently go out of business in 2026. This is why. If you're new here, my name's Alex. I own PokeLegends TCG, an online Pokemon card store, and I've done just over $125,000 in sales in 2025. For the last year, Pokemon cards have been in what most people would call a bull market. Prices are trending up, new sets are flying off the shelves, and it seems like if you want to get product, it has to be on the secondary market. During this bull market, distributors are usually unable to supply 100% of what stores ask for. There simply just isn't enough product to go around. So a store might ask for 100 Elite Trainer boxes, but only get 25. Now, as the bear market progresses, stores catch on to this, how they only get a percentage of what they ask for. This is where things get dangerous. So instead of asking for 100 ETBs and expecting to get 25, they ask for 500, hoping to get 100. And this strategy can work for a while until it doesn't. Stores can unknowingly plant the seeds for their own downfall by doing this, because eventually supply catches up. And when it does, it doesn't care how confident you were. We're seeing some evidence of us transitioning out of the bull market. Prices are down, and with news of a new printing facility going up and running in 2027, the writing is on the wall for collectors and store owners. Stores that are not prepared for this transition could very well go bankrupt or quietly quit in 2026. Now this can happen for a couple reasons. Sometimes Pokemon just prints more. Other times demand drops. And sometimes it's both. A great recent example of this is the Charizard UPC. Some estimates suggest that this was printed 2 to 3 times more than any previous UPC in this span of time. And you can see it. They are sitting. They are discounted, and they are everywhere. For stores that overextended themselves, this is where things can start breaking. The problem isn't just inventory, it's cash flow. Some stores can go bankrupt because they simply don't have enough cash on hand to pay upcoming distributor invoices. Others try to avoid that by canceling orders they know they can't pay for. But here's the brutal reality. Canceling distributor orders can get you blacklisted. And once that happens, you may never get product from that distributor again. For an online Pokemon store, that can be a death sentence. No product means no sales. No sales means no brand. And eventually, no store. Now remember, margins in Pokemon cards are thin, typically 10 to 15%. Which means you have to sell 10 of something to make up for one you couldn't sell. And when the market turns, product that you couldn't sell piles up fast. Now this next part isn't talked about enough, which is the emotional side of running a Pokemon card store. Look, when sales are low, motivation drops. But here's the catch. You still have to make content. You still have to show up on camera, post consistently, build your brand, and stay visible for your customers. Even when sales are down and inventory isn't moving and morale is down, it doesn't matter. You still have to post. Content creation is the lifeblood of Pokemon card stores. It's how you build a foundation of trust for your customers, it's how you promote your products, and it's how to tell your customers, I'm still here. Once you stop producing content, you stop growing, especially for newer stores. I mean, think about it. If you go to a store that you don't know, a brand that you don't know, and then you go to that person's socials that owns the store and they haven't posted in 2 months, are you really going to buy from them? Probably not. That mental pressure is real, and a lot of store owners burn out right here. Not because they're lazy, but because it's exhausting trying to stay optimistic when numbers aren't. This is why, by the way, most stores don't announce they're closing. They don't make a goodbye post. They don't explain what happened. They just stop posting. And then 6 months later, their site is gone. That's why when you hear most people say most Pokemon card stores fail, they're not exaggerating. You just don't see it happen. The stores that survive bear markets have a few things in common. They don't overextend on inventory. They respect cash flow. They create content even when they think it's pointless. And most important, they build trust before they need it. They play the long game. They understand that Pokemon isn't about winning one set. It's about preparing for the inevitable bad ones. Now there is a silver lining. Bear markets can present huge areas of opportunity for newer and existing stores that prepared for the bear market. During a bear market, distributors can end up sitting on product and not have enough orders from their clients. This is a huge problem for them because there's limited space and new products are being released constantly. They'll start offering discounts and, most importantly, open their doors to new clients. Look, it's notoriously hard to get an English distributor for Pokemon cards, and even harder for shops strictly online. However, during a bear market, this can change. Distributors that otherwise have a hardline requirement for storefront shops will make exception in return for reliable clients. Another thing that's generally relaxed during this time is minimum orders. From the distributor's point of view, it's still worth having a reliable, dependable client. They may order a little bit less, which gives you, as the store owner, time to grow without overextending yourself. For existing stores, getting product during this time at discounted wholesale prices can set you up for massive success during the next cycle, which will inevitably come. Trust me, I wish I had stocked up on all the 151 UPCs I saw laying around. Now, I'm not making this video to scare collectors or discourage new store owners. I'm making it because honesty matters, especially in a hobby full of hype. If you're a collector, this gives you insight into why prices move the way they do, and if you're a store owner, hopefully this helps you avoid some mistakes that can keep you in business in 2026. More content soon, guys. Love you. Peace.